A controversial Trump-era immigration policy known as Title 42 is set to expire tomorrow, that is on 11th May. With Title 42 in place, US authorities were able to swiftly expel would-be migrants attempting to cross the border from Mexico, including those seeking humanitarian asylum using the COVID-19 pandemic as justification. The US officials fear that the lapse of Title 42 will spur a surge of migrants and exacerbate an already challenging humanitarian crisis at the southern border. More than 2 million people were expelled under Title 42 policy during the 2021-2022 fiscal year, according to data from US Customs and Border Protection. The United States officials are bracing for an influx of migrants at the US-Mexico border as this legislation will lapse tomorrow. Although the policy has gained currency in last couple of years after COVID-19 came into picture, its genesis goes way back. The name refers to Title 42 of the US Government Code established on 1st of July 1944. This law grants federal authorities the power to deny entry of people and products into the country to limit the spread of a communicable disease. So essentially, the avowed intent of the law was to allow the government to prohibit the entry of foreigners if they present a serious danger of spreading communicable diseases. At the start of the COVID-19 in March 2020, US health authorities had issued Title 42 to allow border agents to rapidly send migrants crossing the US-Mexico border back to Mexico or other countries. The order was implemented under former President Donald Trump, whose administration sought to greatly curtail immigration. Back then, the US CDC had said that the step was needed to stem the spread of COVID-19 in crowded detention settings. But as noble as the intent might have been, this policy has been in the line of fire for completely other reasons altogether. And that reason is this. Title 42 has been used to crack down upon migrants, especially from Central America, who have been coming to USA seeking end to their hardships. During the Trump era, the immigrants' rights groups had accused the administration of using public health as a pretext for cracking down on immigration, a long-standing goal of the former president. The policy has also been criticized as a dubious measure for combating the spread of the virus. In fact, the US health authorities had themselves said in last April that the policy was no longer necessary. The current US President Joe Biden had campaigned on a promise to reverse Trump's restrictive asylum policies. While he moved to end some of the restrictions of the Trump era, he left Title 42 in place for more than a year, exempting unaccompanied children but allowing US authorities to send hundreds of thousands of migrants, including families, back to Mexico. Since Joe Biden took office, there have been record number of migrants caught crossing the US-Mexico border, causing operational and political challenges for his administration. Many have repeatedly crossed after being expelled under Title 42 to nearby Mexican border cities. Title 42 has been applied both to those migrants who seek to evade border agents as well as those who turn themselves in to border patrol to seek asylum. The Biden administration intends to lift Title 42 tomorrow, when the US COVID public health emergency will also be ending. This would mean that migrants caught crossing the border will again be able to request asylum, eventually meaning that USA will have to deal with an influx of migrants on a perhaps very large scale, and this can prove catastrophic for USA.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.